La Bell Blues, baby boy, once again, Alfonso J. Uni. I want to talk a minute about the heart and the 5 components found in it. I want to put forth about understanding. Proverbs 4:7-9. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy gettings, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor. When thou doest embrace her, she shall give to thine head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory she shall deliver to thee. They're using understanding, crown, and honor in the same breath, which means that knowledge, as we've been taught or conditioned to believe, is not power. The understanding of that knowledge gives us power. It gives us movement. Understanding gives us movement. It provides movement. So with that being said, the way we go about understanding is to collect information, remove ourselves, which the book says, sanctify yourself or remove yourself and commit yourself to understanding the knowledge that you have just gained. Which means that, for instance, if I wanted to put a TV on that wall, my first thing to do would be to gain knowledge, as much knowledge as possible about how I want that TV, on how to put it on the wall. I may refer to YouTube because I don't have the image to do it. So you got to develop. Understanding helps us develop the image to carry out the mission. So if all you have is knowledge with no understanding of that knowledge, you don't have an image. And that's what most of us has done in life. We have a lot of knowledge that we don't understand in the image to carry out the desires that we are looking for, or to receive the results that we're looking for in life. We don't get them because we don't understand the information that we have. Okay. A vision. The vision is the stance that we take in life. The mission is the carrying out of this stance. The image oversees that mission. So you got a vision, a mission, and an image. The knowledge is synonymous with the vision. The mission is synonymous with understanding, because there's no movement without understanding. And that's evident that if we're not moving, it's evident that we don't understand something. Wisdom is of the image. It's the energy. It's the energy to keep the motion going. For example, if I wanted to hang that TV up there, I would, and I don't have the image to do it. I first got to figure out, what will it take to get that TV up there? I refer to YouTube. I look at videos on it. I'm developing an understanding on what it takes to get the TV up there. I may need to know about hardware. I may need to know about power tools. I may need to know about electric. I may need to know about installing cable TV. I may need to even know a little about carpentry. But see, I got a vision, but if I don't understand the mission, there's no way I can carry it out. And a lot of times in life, and I know it's with me now, I don't know about anyone else, but me, if I don't understand something, it will be shown on my face that I don't understand it. Because you won't move. You won't do anything. And it's just about like this here. The image of one man in his heart. The heart houses the image of a husband, a father, a son, a brother, and a friend. Each one of these characters have images. It's an image. I'm not going to relate to my wife the way that I relate to a friend. I'm not going to relate to my wife as I relate to my son. I'm not going to relate to my brother as I relate to my son. So each, each vision, each stance, a friend, that's a stance. That's a stance. That's an attitude. A vision is an attitude. That's a stance that we take. So my attitude when I go to my brother is different than when I go to my son, which means that the missions that my brother and I carry out will be different than the mission that my son or my wife or another friend, it's going to be different because the vision is different. So with that being said, the vision is the negative side of your voice, because my voice will sound different when I'm talking to my wife as if I'm talking to my son. My voice is going to sound different when I'm talking to just a stranger. It will sound different because it's a different stance. The vision is different. So we must first discover or figure out or understand what it means to have a vision. A vision is it's just not it's not. And what we do, we use vision and image synonymous, like they are all in the same. They're not the same. The vision is the negative side of your voice. Once you start talking, a person will then know what you're about. They will know your stance. They will know your vision. They will know what you're doing, because your vision is going to carry your mission and your image. And all this is heard in your voice. So now, with me here talking like I am now, I wouldn't talk to my wife in certain settings in the way that I'm projecting it or articulating it now, unless I'm taking the stance that I'm taking now. But but we all know, if you're going to approach your wife about something, you finna go, your stance or your attitude finna be totally different. So now, with that being said, your vision takes time to develop, and time is the equivalent of knowledge. So if we're not operating in the realm that we want to operate in with a specific person or human being, maybe we have not collected enough information about the attitude that we need, or even determine the results that we want to get prior to trying to establish a relationship with them. So it's almost like we try. It goes back to the first clip. We try to fly before we even develop the vision. Before we develop our stance good in life, we moving. We moving and don't know where we moving to. But we don't want to sit still though. We rock, we bounce, we move, we jump, we bounce, we bop, but we don't know where we're going because we have not quite developed the vision or stance to know where we're going. And vision, image, mission, bonds, and your voice all are of the heart. So now, if I say that I want to do something great for my wife or my kids, that means that I should already have taken a stance or have a clear vision or clear stance on that mission, which means that I already have the image to do it. I already have the information to do it, because even in the book, it says it's the spirit who knows. It's the image who already knows. I'm an electrician by trade. So to wire a house, I already have the stance to do that. I already know the mission to do that. I understand the mission. I have the image to do that. So it's not like I need to remember or develop the image to do it. But when you don't know something or when you don't understand something, you have to develop the understanding on what it takes to form the image necessary to carry out the mission, to carry out the mission. So an image is not to be confused with the vision because they're not the same. The image is synonymous with wisdom. The mission is synonymous with space. And the vision is synonymous with time. Just think of us when we were kids, when we were small. What kind of stance, what kind of vision do you think kids have? We don't have many visions. In fact, it takes time to develop this. We make mistakes, we fall, we get up, we fall, we get up. And now, after we've done failed and made mistakes enough, now we could take a stance on it. We can start declaring things about it. And now the mission gets personal because from failing or from going through the trials of it, we develop in our image. We are pearling our image. So which means that the image that we are creating from what we may consider failing, but you just really pearling your image. And when you stop pearling that image, that's when your mission stops. That's when your stance stops. That's when you are considered, or you may consider yourself a failure. If you keep going, just like my man, 10,000 attempts at the light bulb. He didn't stop. They say he failed 10,000 times, but he didn't fail. If they want to call it fail, okay. Following an inspirational lead, that's failing. Because he didn't stop. Because if he wasn't following an inspirational lead, he would have stopped, which means that he was being led by the voice within. And the voice is the flip side or positive side to the negative side, which is your vision. The vision is negative. We all start out with a negative stance in life. We all have a negative stance in life. We don't have a clue as to about what life is about in the beginning. Until we start living, we get history. And when we get that history, then we go back. We go back and it says repent. That means we're going to rewrite history because we understand now, our vision, the stance that we're taking now is kind of like, okay, I done did this enough to understand what's happening. So now let's go back and rewrite that. Let's go back and straighten some things out. So now you're developing the image to do it once you go back and sift through the past. See, what we try to do oftentimes is start moving before we develop a clear stance in life, and it be evident, because we go around in circles, or we're not progressing, or we easily get frustrated because we don't see well. We don't have a clear stance on where we're going. Or for example, if we're going to California, and you know exactly where you're going in California, that's your stance. That's what attitude it's going to take to get to California. You know what it's going to require, especially if you already done drove there or flew there. You already know what to take because the image was already created. So now only thing you have to do is prepare to go, and you know how much territory you got to cover. See, what we try to do is move before we get a clear stance on anything. And it's even with the relationships that we enter in with our spouse. Most of us, we shouldn't have even entered into a relationship with a spouse or another human being because we don't even understand how to hold a relationship with ourselves. We don't understand. Until we understand how to hold a relationship with ourselves, then we're able to move over space to embrace another human being, because we don't develop the image to do it. Because there's only one man. And when you figure out one man, you got every man figured out. It's one man, two species of man. You got one man, male and female, the two species. They all work the same. Every man work the same. The female work the same. The female is a man also. You got a male and you got a female, and we all have the same tools within us. We seek vision, we want to do missions, and what we do is trying to embrace different missions, different images. Okay, within us, we have just like I say, you have husband, you have a father, you have a son, you have a friend. All these images are within me. And once I want to go to my son, I'm going to access that image that has the information of the father. I want to be a father figure. I want to provide resources and tools from the standpoint of a father to a son, not go to my son with focusing on the image of a husband or the image of a brother. Because I most likely my voice will not be right for him. So with that being said, husband, we need to develop the image. A father, we need to develop the image. A son, we should have been developed in that area. Because me being a son, someone should have nurtured me and developed me to a point to where I know how to be a son. And a brother, I need to develop the image to be a brother, to be able to treat my fellow human being in a way to where they will feel love. I need to develop that image. And to be a friend, I need to know, I need to develop, I need to take a stance on being a friend to not just myself, because if I can't be a friend to myself, there's no way that I could be a friend to anyone else. Because like I said, there's only one man, two species of man, male and female, because the man works the same. It's a reasoning process. The man is all about changing and altering things. Once you figure out the nature of the man, once you figure yourself out in your reasoning process, you got the rest of it. My reasoning process is no different than my wife's. She just may have a different vision on how she uses it. Just like my brother, he may have it, his reasoning process, his mind works the same as mine. He using his reasoning process to operate dump trucks. I use my reasoning process for electric. That's what I was nurtured in. And to develop, that's what I was nurtured in. So the reasoning process, the man is the same. Once we learn that out, once we figure that out, we got all men's pretty much understood. That's why my big brother in the book of life, that's why he knew us so well, because he knew himself well. Because to know one man is to know every man. Because once you declare one thing in your life, you can back out the way. If you speak it and declare it, that's your stance, that's your vision. Once you declare it, once you speak it, once you voice it, you can back out the way, the man, and let the man have it. Because what the man gonna do, the man's finna alter it according to your voice. If you say you want more of something, watch how your reasoning process starts to happen. You automatically finna start getting thoughts on how can you get more of that. On the contrary, if you want to say you want less of something, if you speak it, watch something start happening where you're gonna start putting negative stuff toward whatever it is to start disconnecting from it. It automatically happens that way. You don't have to do anything. But what we don't do is speak, because we've been conditioned to believe that once we speak something loud enough for us to hear ourselves when there's no other human beings around, we're like, come on, speak it. What they say? They say, well, he crazy. Well, we crazy when we don't speak to ourselves. We crazy if we don't speak to ourselves, because it's that voice that's going to lead you. It's the voice that leads the man. Every human being has a man. Every human being, it's a man. And once you speak it, automatically that man finna go to work. You can back out the way, because it's finna start making it come to be gradually just how you wanted it. And the more you picture it that way, the closer you're going to get it that way, because that's the nature of the reasoning process. If you say you want less of something, it's going to happen. You just got to say it, and you got to picture it. You can't just, just want something. No, you got to see yourself either with what you want or not with what you want, and turn it over to the man. The man, that's what it's for. It's to alter things. That's why in the beginning of this book, it says we're going to give, we're going to give man dominion over the earth, over everything on the earth. And then what we do, we try to blame God for everything that happened on earth, when he clearly said he given human beings dominion. That means whatever happened on earth, it ain't his fault. He gave us dominion over that. He want us to acknowledge him within. So if it's not happening right on earth, we need to go within and speak it. So when we speak it, we done turned it over to the man, and the man finna alter it the way that we want it. We don't get the concept. It's all about taking a stance. If you take a stance in life and speak it, I guarantee you it'll work. We just been conditioned to believe the very thing that's beneficial to us. We believe that we crazy for doing it. You get by yourself. I be by myself sometimes, talking so much. Sometimes I forget I'm by myself. I talk so much. But you have to do it. That's why I say, hey, prayer is not, it's not a public thing. It's not something you go and just stand up everywhere and do. It's the communion within of the things that you want to happen without. You articulate it the way you want it to be outside. Get by yourself. It said this right here. It said, go into your closet, and when you have went in there, shut the door. Because to do it and do it right, you go look funny to somebody else seeing you do it, because you got to articulate it. See, because that's one thing about our heart. It don't know whether we actually experience it in the physical realm or not. It don't know that. So if you want to get good at something, keep picturing yourself doing it. Start articulating it as if you was actually doing it. Take a stance, develop it. That's the nature of a vision. The vision ain't something that, you finna, it's like sight. No. Some of the most successful animals in the world at what they do don't have sight. Hey, and it even tells us in this book, it say, hey, it turns us to the ant, O sluggard. Go to the ant, observe her ways and be wise. Why is it telling us that? A creature as small as an ant is telling a human being, somebody that's supposed to have authority over the ant, is telling us to go to the ant for wisdom. And the ant can't see. Their sight is very poor. But they are successful at what they do. And just take the red fire ant. All of us probably have been bit, stung by them, however you want to call it. They came here and dominated the territory. That's what we're supposed to be doing. That's why I say, pray that the kingdom come to earth. Why? So that we can dominate the earth, so that we can dominate territory with space, or with the authority that has been sent here. We want the same behavior that's within me. I want everybody to understand this just like I do all over the land. Ants, they have gotten the concept. That same behavior, when they start out in one little mound, watch how they tear up your backyard. They tear because they know what they want to do. It's all about covering territory. But we don't get the concept though, because we focus too much on things outside. We think that we're gonna get our stance right in life, or we're gonna get our vision right in life by focusing on those things outside of us. No, those things outside of us, I'm gonna tell you what they do. They scare the hell out of us. Because if it don't make sense to us, we lost. We lost. Because the nature of the man is not trying to make sense of things outside of us. The man is for one thing and one thing only. And that if you don't like a circumstance, picture it the way you want it and hand it over to the man. I guarantee you, I don't care if it's good or bad. If you want to hurt somebody, picture a way you want to hurt him, watch what happens. That man, hand it over to the man. He's going to start altering, bringing stuff in. And then, hey, and if you ain't got enough feelings to do it, you go way back in the past. Yeah, she did this to me 10 years ago. Or he did this right here. We see what we're going to do. See, we know in there, purpose is necessary to create feelings, and feelings is necessary to create the mission. So what we'll do is start going back trying to collect a bunch of negative junk on people if we want to do a negative mission. See, because we know we got to get up enough feelings to authorize that mission. So either way it go, you just develop the stance. You just develop the vision, but that vision is negative. That vision is degenerative. And you done created the image, which means that now, when you carry out this mission, the image is still there. So how do you destroy that? So after you done carried out that mission, now you still got that same vision in you. That's why I say, that's why I say sin start right in there. Now, when you done did it physically, it's too late. You finna continue to have problems with it. That's why we need to be careful on the stance that we take in life. We need to be careful on the people we be around because of the conditioning that will be supported within the circle that we're in. It's all about the stances you take. Whatever stance you take, just start declaring some things in life. Watch how your life be. And right now, if you evaluate your life right now and you're not happy with where you're at now, think about the things you've been declaring. Think about how you got inner conversation. That inner conversation is your vision. That's the stance you done took. If you get the mumbling, if you always whining, okay. Whatever you whining about, see, because a whine, anything that, any picture that you hold in your mind and you engage on it emotionally, you can have more of it. You saying that that's what I want to happen. You saying, give me more of that. You saying, let's manifest that. That's why Paul said in that book, he said, I would have among you no coarse joking. Because that's when we get programmed easy and nicely. Because we get to laughing and joking and kikiing about some of the most silliest things. And we just pass it off as joke. But then you always remember when we leave the bunch, you might get in your car riding, and now they'll pop up in your head. That crazy stuff. Now you know you wasn't even with it anyway. That's the nature of the deception in the beginning. If I can get you to picture something and get you to engage on it, I got you. So now you finna be battling with, why am I thinking about this? Because you measured it, you engaged on it. We got to learn what not to engage on. Because you don't want something, that don't mean that you frown at it. When you frown at it, you just gave it authority, or you just gave it access to your soul. So the best thing to do is, when you don't want something, when you don't want it, do just like you would do a person that you really don't like. A person that, when you're in their vicinity, what you do? You act just like you don't see them. That's what you do when you're in the midst, or you're hearing something that you know not healthy for you. Don't frown at it. Don't get upset about it. Keep a calm, cool demeanor. Act like you don't even hear it. Because once you get all uptight about it, with the intensity that you got uptight about it, that's the intensity that is going to always play back to you in. Because I know y'all can remember getting real scared about something when you were small, and you still get scared about that same thing right now. You still feel the same way about it when you reflect on it, because you didn't engage on it. You don't engage on it. Don't engage. If you don't want to be bothered with something, don't engage on it. Don't let your soul get excited about it. Because once you let your soul get excited about it, that's a wrap. It's finna dominate your inside. So the thing now to do is this: determine what kind of life you want to live, and start compiling the details to that life every day. Like they say, Daniel prayed 3 times a day. See, it's not no, I'm standing up, Lord this here and Lord that. No. See, the prayer that I'm talking about, that book is talking about, finna produce you some results. Because you finna focus and see yourself doing exactly what you're talking about. And you finna start seeing yourself move toward it. See, in prayer, you see yourself laying hold up to the very thing that you're asking about. That's why I say, when you pray, believing that you have received it. Because if you understood what believing is, you'll understand why it's a believing that you have already received it. Because your believing is in your doing. Okay, so if it's something that you've been desiring, but you never have a feeling for it, because think about it, it's saying believe that you have already received it. If you have received the very thing that you've been asking for, how would you feel? Get that feeling before you receive it, and that feeling will drive you to get it. The feeling is for the mission. So, and if that feeling is not strong enough, check your why, check your purpose for wanting it. Check your purpose for wanting it. Your purpose for wanting it might be real weak. See, your purpose for wanting stuff gonna amp up the intensity of the feeling. And the stronger the feeling, the stronger the movement. The stronger the movement, the more momentum you have. The more momentum you have, when things get in your way, when things get in your way, the faster you moving, the more it seems like a midget is in front of you. But the slower you move, it's gonna look like a giant. If you don't have the right feelings, it's gonna look like a giant. But the stronger your feelings, the stronger the movement, the stronger the momentum, and the more force you're going to exert on anything that's in your way. But it all starts with developing a solid stance in life, and that stance is a vision. And this is one stance right here that the world has successfully given us. And I had to stop my boy. I had to stop. I was talking to my boys about it. You see them, they dress, they might mess around and see their hair all messed up, or even with little girls. And we do it now. We don't understand what we're doing. On a subliminal level, what we're doing is we developing their stance. We say, well, ain't no girls gonna want you like that. Or we might tell a girl, ain't no boys gonna want you like that. So what are we telling them? What on a subliminal level, we are telling them that they are here for the purpose of mingling with that boy or that girl. We're not saying, hey, look here, you take a stance in life and take a stance in life, take a stance in life other than focusing on the woman or the man first. You develop yourself and anything that you need as a result of you developing yourself, you're going to draw the right person to you. So with that being said, most of us, just like myself, the stance that I took in life 19, 20 years ago with my wife, it's different now. So how you think the relationship got? If my stance wouldn't have changed, the relationship wouldn't have changed. If my wife's stance don't change, if her vision don't change, the relationship don't change. But as we develop and grow, like the book says, the process of time is gonna cause our vision, our stance, the things that we desire in life is gonna cause it to change. So now, if my stance and I'm changing more rapidly than my mate is adapting, now you understand how we grow apart. That's how people grow apart. The vision change. In the beginning, okay, for instance, I got to share this. She might get mad with me, but it's okay. My wife, she got excited. We met. She got excited because I actually called a charge meeting her. I hit the guy, and that's what she liked. That's what excited her. So now, with respect to that, she looked at me as somebody that, protection. That's what she looked at. That was her stance of me. You know what I mean? So now, if I, over the years, have developed, and that ain't my stance anymore, it's a problem. It was a problem. Because I ain't that, I done chill from that. And now my whole image changing. And her stance in life, it started changing. And I started reacting with respect to that. I started reacting because I didn't know. I'm thinking, no, this ain't what I wanted. And she was the same way. And we wanted to say, man, I don't know what, I done fell out of love with him. No, you ain't fell out of love with him. It's just that the image that drew you to them, that image is gone because the stance that they took gone. They just developed in something different, and they progressed. And now, yeah, man, I don't like them. What's up there, Gary? And you know what I mean. And I see you, there, cowboy. And the stance that we take in life, it's gonna ultimately drive our life. And even with our kids. That's why we man, I don't know what's wrong with these kids. The kids are developing. They developing into who they gonna become. When they zero up to about 7 years old, they don't have the ability. It's almost like their lid is off. It's like you can get a program and just cram it right into their head. Boom, and they'll operate. But we don't get it though. Up until they about 6 or 7 years old, they just like a sponge. They just soak right on up. We don't know that that's the time for us to really be bonding to them, to duplicate ourselves in them. But we have so much junk with us till we really don't want to be around them like that because we know it ain't right. We know it ain't right. So what we'll do is distance ourselves, give a little, but then at the same time, if we're not around them, they got to be around something else. Either we let the school, we let the daycare, we let the TV, all of that right there. You be like, oh no, how do you learn that? Well, if you're not there to help filter what goes in, because hey, scientifically, at age 7, 8 years old, that's when they start developing the ability to reject information. But before that, they don't, 0 to 2, they don't have the ability to reject no information. They don't have that ability. And it's up to us to protect that. But then we look crazy or get the feeling some kind of way about the kids, as they develop, because they done developed into something and we don't understand what they done developed into because of our stance in life, our vision. And understand me. It's not, I'm not saying nothing about it's my fault or it's any other parent's fault, but it starts way back to the very first relationship. Hey, it even jumped out like this, where the first siblings, one killed the first one. So that's just how much. So you think that he would have killed his brother if mom and dad was present? No. Something had to happen. Something had to happen wrong. So and we still modeling the same behavior. And the thing is, I say I, because I took a stance within myself to make a difference in it by developing myself. Oh yeah, it's always been very challenging because it's just like that book says when they say the 3 years he was on earth to generate the energy, to go to the cross, to get on there, to get beat. He had to be focused. He had to be focused. It's uncomfortable to give up the image after being this way or that way for 30 or 40 years. And now you're talking about, you mean I got to give up that? Because it's a lot of things tied to that image. It's a lot of relationships tied to that image. It's some people that's finna be cut loose. It's some things that's going to have to stop. It's a lot of things that's tied to that image that ain't doing us no good. It ain't doing me no good. So with that being said, it hurts to give up or cause a transformation within. Is equivalent to the beating of that body that was on the cross. It's just that complex. See, we think we can't envision getting on a cross, getting beat like that and not saying nothing. He had a vision. He had a stand because it was something greater that was going to be released as a result of him staying in the pocket. And for him to go through what he went through, it did the world all the good. We may not know how, we may not understand it like we ought to, but what he did was gave us an option. And if the image and the stance that I done took in life, if it's not working for us, you have an option. It ain't just got to be his mission. If the image that's not working for you, if you know what you want to do in life, read the missions so you can develop the stance. If you want to become a cardiologist, start reading up on great cardiologists. Read their missions. You're going to develop their stance. And then you're going to cultivate that image. That's the nature of it. See, we can become who we want to become. The thing is, it's so excruciating. It's about like committing suicide. Because you got to give up a tone. You got to give it up. You got to give it up, but it's not going to work. It's almost like you're holding on to mama them and brother them and uncle them in this hand, and then you kind of reaching over there at that one that will work. You like all the benefits of that one, but you're afraid to turn this loose because it's so much, it's a little, even though it's uncomfortable, even though you're not satisfied with how it is, you're comfortable right there, not moving. Because it was the same way with me. I think I was more scared of, moving out of my comfort zone into people, into a lifestyle or realm that I was unfamiliar with. It's uncomfortable and it's frightening. That's what it means to step out on faith. And faith is this: you knowing where you want to go and calling it. Once you call it, once you speak it, it's a faith come by hearing. And if y'all understood the nature of hearing, check me out. It referenced the serpent in the Bible, which, we done been conditioned, just really fret the serpent. But I would go and study serpent facts, snake facts. Hey, they don't see too well either. They don't see very well, not their sight. But what they do well is they are able to detect sound with their whole body, which make them dangerous because that sound produces an image. And if I can see an image, I know where I'm going. That's why I say faith. The serpent, it showed us how, that's why the deception was easy. Because the first humans didn't understand the nature of faith, and the serpent did. If I can cause them to hear what I'm saying and cause them to picture themselves doing it and engage their emotions on it, I got them. That's what he did. He did just that. And he's still doing it. Speaking it, and we steady hearing it. And hey, why y'all think they talk about music all through that Bible? That's one of the most potent ways of getting programmed. Because you're sitting there, you wonder why I'm sitting there, shake 'em, boo, that, shake 'em, boo, that, come, dude. You're doing all that right now. You finna have problems with that. You gonna have problems with shake 'em the booty. Because you engaging on it. And the more you engage on it, the more you're going to be locked in to that spirit. And you're like, man, I wonder, I don't know, man, I just got a problem with this, man. I just got a problem. I just be looking at him, man. But every time one pay, you're like, man, golly. No, you can't do that. Because you telling yourself, that's what I want more of. You got the picture and you done engage your soul on it. So, and then whatever intensity that you engage it with, every time you replay it, it's going to do you the same way. It's going to do you the same way. I'm talking about you can make a declaration right now over everything in your life that you're dealing with right now. Speak it right out loud to yourself how you want it to be. But you must know how you want it to be. What would you rather have happen instead of that? That's what you must determine and start saying it before you come into contact with it. Say it before you come into contact with it. That's the nature of it. We got to take a stance. We don't take the right stances in life. Our stance in life, it goes right back to the beginning. And that's what all of us have a problem with. She saw that it was good for food, pleasing to the eye, and potentially good for wisdom. That's what all of us lack wisdom. Hey, we out of control on entertainment. That's what got entertainment right now is what got all of us gone. Because we entertain the wrong things. And then the food, that's got us going. That's why it talks about water and bread throughout that whole book. That's why he keeps saying, I'm the bread. I'm the bread. He keeps talking about water. Water stabilizes your life. It stabilizes your blood. It stabilizes your blood. The less water you have in you, your body overheats, and the crazier you think. It's about like trying to run a car on 1/3 of the water that's supposed to be in it. What you think gonna happen? Get a plant, water that plant 2/3 less than it's supposed to get water. Watch what happened now. We came from the same place that the plant came from, remember? We need the same nutrients that the plant needs. We just getting it through different sources. It needs the same thing: potassium, calcium, magnesium, sodium, phosphorus. They need all that too. And if they be deficient of that, they gonna shrink and shrivel too. It's just about the stances that we take in life. We get your focus on what you want. If you satisfied with the way your life is, let it stay. But if you're always complaining, take your focus off of the garbage that got you complaining, because it's not going to change. But then when you take your focus off of what you're complaining about, here's what's going to happen. You might end up having to cut mama loose. You might have an end up, I ain't gonna say cut loose, but kind of scale back on the relationship with mama, daddy, brother, sister. I'm talking about some people that you came up with now, because they the one is stabilizing. See, we just like a tree. They supporting this tree. They supporting the attitude or the state of mind that I'm in. They supporting it. All the people that in my inner circle, they supporting the attitude that I'm in. So if I don't like the attitude that I'm in, if I don't like that state of mind, if I don't like what I'm manifesting in life, I got to check who's supporting me. I got to. And when you determine who's supporting you, what is the relationship? Are they giving to me or are they taking away? Come on now, if you're trying to go somewhere, if you don't know where you're going, okay, fine. It don't make a difference. But if you're trying to go somewhere, you got to examine your support system. Every time they plant a new tree somewhere, what they do, they put at least 3 support straps on it for a year till it gets stabilized in that soil. And if that support system is weak, as soon as that storm came, the storm get to blowing, all the trees fall over. Out here where we at. That's all they did all last year. Kept coming back, putting the trees back up. Another storm come, they fall. They got support system on it. Support system weak though. And that's the same thing. If we are trying to grow and move and improve in life, check your support system. Check your support system. Because your support system, they finna support your vision. They finna let you know what type of vision you have. If you don't know what type of vision you have, the people that you talk to on a daily basis, examine, put them on the measuring block. How you feel about them? It's just a reflection of yourself. It's a reflection of yourself. So if you talking about this person right here that y'all kick it with all the time, you vibrating at the same note that they vibrating on. See, but you just can't see yourself because you're blind. Just like I was blind. I had to pull away. I ain't gonna say I'm all the way there. I'm waking it up. I'm waking it up rapidly though. And when you wake up to the point where you like, bing, yeah, people will know it because you're gonna start moving, and you're gonna start moving in a way to where people gonna think he like this, or she thinks she like that, because you moving so fast till it be really intimidating to people. Because a person that look like they got it in order, we just don't like that. The person that always be talking about, I'll be here at 10:30 sharp, or be there at that time. We don't like people that's like that, because we like to be so wide, like you say, broad is the way that leads to destruction. See, we like to or somebody say be somewhere at 10 o'clock. Oh man, it might be 10:30, it might be 11 o'clock before you get there. Because we don't want to feel like that person has no authority over us. So I'm gonna mosey in when I want to mosey in. But they just let you know why you ain't got where you trying to go. because you're not even committed to your own development and success on where you're trying to go. And time is all we have. Time is of the vision. And it takes time to develop a vision. Time is all we got right now. I'm 45 years old right now. If I be blessed, I live to be at least 150 more years old. Yeah, I said it. I'm going to live to be 150 years old. I don't know what that means to y'all. I don't know, y'all grandma might have died, like my grandma died, 97 years old. Okay. She let me know I can at least get to 97. So I'm going to say, okay, I want to live at least another 150 more years after that. That's why I started taking care of myself. Say outrageous stuff. When you say outrageous stuff, it make you live right. It make you do the right thing. Make me start eating right. Because once I start saying that, I started joking with it at first. Y'all think I'm joking. Y'all think I'm playing. I said, boy, I'm going to live to be 300 years old. Hey, automatically, I went to a diet. Hey, you see how my face, see how all the fat went off my face? You see what I mean? Because I started eating right. I started putting the right stuff in me. Got so much energy now, I don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? Might get 2 hours of sleep and feel like I done slept 3 or 4 years. When you put the right stuff in you, when you take the right stance in life, you can make it, you can do it, and people will know you done took the right stance. Because the stance that you done took in life, it's going to be evident in the voice that you speak. It's going to be evident. It's going to be evident in your voice. Your tone going to let people know what type of stance you done took. And especially when you go to talking on a specific subject. And when a man get to talking about a woman, you're going to hear it in his voice on the stance or declaration he done made against women. The same with women. When a woman go to talking about a man, you're going to hear it in her voice on the stance she done took against men. That's her vision. So it don't make a difference. And normally, the stance that a man take against women be the woman that was closest to him being raised up. Normally. And vice versa. When a woman take a stance against a man, it'd be as a result of the relationship that they had or didn't have with their father. So now, see, we think that we can separate it. You can't separate it. If I declare my mama was like this, look here, bro. Look here. Every woman is like that. Every woman. While everything cool now, no, I might treat them different. But when it get to the point where it's boiling up and you get some go to feeling some kind of way, you're gonna reflect right back to that judgment that you made probably 30, 40 years ago about women or about men. That's why I say repent. So when you repent, you recultivating your vision, your stance. You got to. If you're not getting the life that you want, if you're not getting the results out of life that you want, you got to repent it, which means that you got to take a different stance in life. To take a different stance in life means that now you're going to have different missions. So if you have different missions, it's going to require a different image. And a different image is going to be led by a different voice. And that's up to you. That's up to me to determine if we own that course or not. That's up to us. It ain't my brother's fault, my mama's fault. It ain't nobody's fault. Yeah, it would have helped me. It would have helped plenty of us if we would have been in a more stable environment coming up. Yeah, it would have helped us. It would have been nice. But once you come to the point to where you're responsible for yourself, it's on you. It's on you to make that change. But check this out. Understand this. Understand this. Understand this here. The more you go through as a child, check this out now. It's unfortunate now. The more you go through, the more pain you experience as a child. It's negative. So if you went 150 degrees negative, if you ever get the support to get out that hole, think about the energy you're going to have going up. It's going to be the same. You'll be able to touch so many people. You'll be able to touch the world if you are bold enough to go in and face it. And the way you face it All those things that can happen right now as a result of being a child, and you still feel some kind of way about it, this is what I did. I was led to the graveyard. Those who know me know I'm not lying. I probably spent over a year, sometimes 8, 10 hours a day out there. I didn't know why at first. I had to change. I had to give that up. I had to change how I feel about those experiences back then. If it's something that you focus on that happened when you was a child, you must focus on it and replay it, repaint it in your mind until you feel different about it when you think about it. If you don't, it's going to continue to control you. Yeah. Oh man, daddy wasn't there. Mama did this to me. Brother did that. They did. No. Okay. That happened then. It happened then. That's unfortunate. But you still letting it happen 30 years later. And they don't have no clue on the way it's affecting you. Your life jammed up because of the stance that you done took back then. That's why I say, hey, when my man came off of that mount for 40 days fasting, and he bumped into that adversary, and he overcame him while he was hungry now, the first words he spoke was said, repent. That means you got to go back to the past. Anytime you want to move forward, you got to go back to the past. If you're not moving right now in the way that you're trying to go back to the past. Make that right. Watch what happened to your life. You're gonna generate so much energy because now you can talk about that. You can talk about that with a lot of energy. You can talk about that from a standpoint of people knowing you done overcame it. If you got things in your life and people know that it happened to you and it was bad and you ain't saying nothing about it, you ain't never referenced, you ain't never used it, or you ain't never shared it with people to help elevate people as a testimony to say, I overcame this, it still got you bound up. And every time you try to move, it probably flare up in you. If that wouldn't have happened, I would have been here. If that wouldn't have happened, I could have did this. No, let that go. Let it go. It's easy to stand back right now, get out of yourself and picture it as if you was watching the whole thing replay. What advice would you give yourself? Would you tell that person to hold on to it? No, you wouldn't. I guarantee you will try to do all you can to encourage them to let it go. But just like me, I understand it because that's what I used to do. That's what I did for a long time. I encourage people, let it go, let it go, let it go. But then I had this thing held up in me. I didn't know how to let it go until I started speaking loud enough to hear myself. Even though I'm speaking loud right now, the way that our throat and our eardrum our ears are connected within is always like a whisper. That's why he say, he ain't gonna come on no mean cloud. He ain't gonna be making a bunch of noise or in a storm. No. Only thing that we need to do is speak loud enough to hear ourselves. And we can lead ourselves right out of where we at. Guaranteed. But the thing is, we got to get comfortable with talking to ourselves. And we done been conditioned. Or we done took a stance against that. To where, you in a room by yourself talking to yourself. Loud enough, man, what if somebody come in and hear me? You don't think I'm crazy? No, I don't care. No, they can think I'm crazy. It don't make no difference. You got to get crazy sometimes. You got to. That let people know you serious about what you're trying to do. That's why you say, if you're ashamed, you ain't gonna make it nowhere. Because you gotta think now. Shame was the first emotion that was mentioned in that book. And that is the same emotion that's crippling us right now. Shame. It got us because we trying to protect the image that is powerless. Most of us got an image that it has successfully failed us. But we're trying to protect it. Give it up. Ma Blue, Grandma Blue, that is Grandma. She cared for me to the fullest. Here's the thing. The things that you can use as a result of being born through your biological family, if you can use it, use it. If you can't, disconnect. It goes right back to Mary and Joseph with reference to Jesus. It don't even reference it. It make it seem like Jesus and Joseph didn't even have a relationship. You follow me? That's just how necessary the biological father is in a man's life if he's trying to go somewhere. That relationship will hinder you if that biological father doesn't have, if he don't have the right stance, it's gonna cripple you. Only thing it spoke about with respect to Joseph and Jesus was he got that trade that Joseph had, a carpenter. He was a carpenter. Other than that, that's it. That's it. Everything else about him, you gotta let it go. Because if you put anything else in it, that's a weak image. It's not gonna do enough to get you where you need to go. So that's why you got to disconnect from relationships that's hindering you. You got to. If you want to help them, develop yourself, get stable, and you're able to provide a course or a stance for those that you care about. That's the nature of it. We got to take a stance. We got to start speaking those things that we want. We got to speak it loud enough for us to hear ourselves and the ones that's around us. So when we fall weak or if challenges come, we want those same people, that same support system to replay that back to us. Because faith come by what? Faith come by hearing. So if I could keep hearing my mission, my stance, if I could keep hearing it, it's going to keep me pumped up. Because it's that feeling that's going to keep me moving. If I lose sight, the feeling going to go away. And the feeling go away, the mission stop. The mission stop, you get depressed. You get depressed, you need mouth to mouth. And then you might get mouth to mouth with the wrong person. The wrong person might blow the wrong breath into you. And from that point, you're gone. Do not allow your life to stand for nothing. Take a stance. Go to the grave. Go to your grave right now. Go to your grave. Like I said, go to your grave. Because he said this. He didn't start until he knew the end. What you want your end to look like. Go to the graveyard. Go to the graveyard around all those negative bodies out there. All the bodies out there negative. That means you can't see them. It's hard to think negative while you're out there in the graveyard. And if you got a problem with going in the graveyard, that means you might really need to go on out there. So you can rid yourself of that feeling. The way to where you're trying to go is through the grave. Something got to die in you. If you're not moving in the direction that you're trying to go to a graveyard. And mainly, wherever somebody that's close to you are at, go there. I'm not saying it, but no joke. It's going to cause you to think positive. Because there's no way you're going to go in a graveyard and think, man, all these bad situations and all this, you're gonna be your mind gonna be focused on, man, I could be in there. And what it do? It encourages you to think positive. I'm telling you, the people that I hope you don't get mad with me. Alton Lilly, my buddy Huggins. They've been kind of with me on this journey. They know I've been out there. They know I talked to them about it. I talk to them just like I'm talking now about it. I talk to them. Go to the graveyard. Well, hey, we wasn't able to receive what Jesus had for us until he went well. Talk to me, somebody. To the grave. Until that body went negative, that's when we was able to receive the voice that he had. Go to the graveyard. Go to the graveyard if you want your life to change. And let the feelings, whatever happened in you, open yourself up for it. Open yourself up for it. Yeah, you're going to cry. That's what you want to do, cry. What did he do? His last thing before he got taken down, he cried. Because there's so much energy in a cry. You just got to have the right things on your mind when you cry. And I get so scared now since I understood what the nature of a cry. All them times I done made my wife cry. See, that's why it be hard now for the relationships to get right. Because if you done made them cry with the wrong stuff on their mind more than a few times, boy, you done baked that in there. That's in there. Because when you cry, dude, it ain't easy to forget that. So it's almost like, how can I go open that up to redo that? You see? Because, see, he didn't cry at all when he was getting beat. He didn't cry. Because if you cry when you're going through punishment, you will remember it. Every time you reflect on it, you're going to recall it. And anything that you recall, you are calling it forth. You saying, yeah, I want that. Okay. What did he cry about? Y'all come on, now talk to me. When he had to give up that image, he said, my God, my God. Because he wanted that back. He wanted it back. He had to get it back. He had to get it back. He had to get that image back. That's why he had to cry. He had to make a sound when he separated from that image. He separated from that image long enough to go down and come up. And what did he say? All power is in my hand. Hey, I love y'all. Bless you. Peace. Barbell Blues, grandbaby.